This was submitted to Governor Kim Reynolds, the governor of Iowa, on January, February, March, April, May 12th in the year of our Lord 2020. Mrs. Reynolds, I'm writing this in regards to the Camarillo and State of Iowa case. After seeking advocacy from nearly 120 lawyers in the state of Iowa on an proven unlawful termination targeting whistleblowing case, I am notifying you of the opportunity to handle this situation in-house as a leader. Knowing that there has been an undeniably large amount of rights violations to both my family and I. The same tactics that I stood against in this Iowa facility for the disabled have been utilized against myself and my family for nearly 5 years now. Restrict rights, abuse, and cover up. Repeat. I am attaching the article that I will be submitting to countless national news presses and the Department of Justice this week. I want this to be clear. I am offering the opportunity to handle this in-house, as I have been for years, only to be systematically abused and oppressed. I will not address partial or partake in any attempts to silence or downplay the severity of the situation. I would rather handle it on a national level at this point. My offer for righteousness for my family and a sit-down meeting with Department of Human Services to reveal tactics, loopholes to be closed, and identifying red flags stands. Only if it is done in a satisfactory and accountable manner. If the proper leadership traits such as initiative and judgment are not exercised in the meantime, do not be alarmed at the public relations that are to follow. My children and I have lost 5 years together due to the malpractice and negligence of the state of Iowa employees. We have no more time to lose and life will be restored. If the state of Iowa and even some of the state of Iowa's small town police had done their jobs according to policy and procedure, I would have 100% custody of my children. They would not have been used as pawns and placed under the supervision of a neglectful mother with a very serious addiction. But due to small town ties, this was enabled. I would also be 12 years closer to retirement, engaged in the career that I loved, helping the disabled, been able to avoid some serious traumatization for both my children and I, probably be remarried and have a home. All of this, along with everything I had and loved, was lost due to unprofessionalism, as I can prove. 100%. That's why I'm being systematically abused and oppressed, along with my children. That's what this is about. I have witnessed and been through things due to this facility's self-preservation and unorthodox operations that no one should have to go through. In fact, at times it was hard for me to stay employed by this facility due to the nature in which it conducted itself. But I did for those in care, and I was the sole provider for a family of 4. Well, before being unlawfully terminated and denied unemployment, even after appealing it and being denied again. But I guess that's how we treat American families and veterans. It was rough. I have recordings of the small town police department harassing me time and time again, conducting themselves in a very unprofessional manner, due to ties with my ex-wife and fraternization on a very inappropriate level. I also have an audio recording from a state supervisor who called to notify me that the other state supervisor that had unlawfully terminated me originally was talking about doing it again during a state supervising meeting, when I had ever so kindly returned in hopes of some sort of normalcy after much pain and suffering. The recording also speaks of that supervisor and another state supervisor whom owns a bar, bringing in bar surveillance footage of the state employees and reviewing it on state grounds before determining whether to target or reprimand them for calling in. This is a recording that yourself or the public may have interest in. All of this being said, I am alerting you of my order of operations, and this will begin on this Wednesday. I am in no position to lose any more quality of life or time with my beloved children, in the name of preservation or conspiring. I am also in no position to carry on with the unconstitutional and unjust life due to this. I trust that you will demonstrate the required initiative and judgment required in this manner. Respectfully, Rudy J. Camarillo. Postscript. At this point, there are no names or approximate dates involved in the article, but I assure you that some of the offenders are still employed by the state of Iowa. Some were fired for abuse and some have retired. Also, there were falsified documents submitted for some of these incidents as part of standard routine along with your unknown incident reports, all available upon investigation. That is another submission to Iowa's Governor, Kim Reynolds, regarding this facility, which was under the scope by Department of Justice and the FBI just last fall for human experimenting and sexual studies, which if an advocate like myself were there, it would not have happened because I would be a mandatory reporter. I would be putting pen to paper, fingers to keyboards, and I would be making sure that they were respected in all human and civil rights, just as any and all of us should be. God bless. Godspeed.